Have you been thinking of launching your own podcast, but not sure where to start? Well, we were in your same position when we started. That's when we found Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout makes podcasting easy. With Buzzsprout, you can launch a professional podcast in no time. In fact, Buzzsprout has already helped over 100,000 people get their podcast launched. With Buzzsprout, you'll get a great looking website, audio players to drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, and tools to promote your episodes, and much, much more. Plus, Buzzsprout publishes new blog posts, YouTube videos, and podcast episodes on a weekly basis to help you become a better podcaster. So if you're ready to start your own podcast, just click the link in the show notes and receive a $20 Amazon gift card for signing up. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you, and it also supports our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start your podcast. Thanks.
And here we go. You're listening to the Kings Can Move On podcast with your hosts, Jason Stewart and Frank Rainey.
Leave it alone.
So Jocelyn, I do have a question. I want to hit on what you just said when you're talking to somebody else. So the next question is, do you feel like your mate has to have your back when you're in a disagreement with someone besides them, even if you are wrong? Does that mate need to have your back?
Okay, this is what I'm going to define as having your back, because it's a twofold question, right? So having my back means having my best interest, right? And sometimes that telling you that you're wrong is having your best interest. I'm a person, I'm human. I make mistakes, you make mistakes. If you see a mistake before I'm about to make it, tell me about it. Especially if you're somebody who's in my close circle who I can accept that from with little confrontation. You get what I'm saying? I don't have a problem. I'll be honest. Confrontate or criticism is a very hard thing for me to deal with, but I know that about myself. I literally just told you guys, right? But like, I'm working on that. When someone provides me with criticism where, okay, Jocelyn, you did this and you could have did something different, or I want that, make me better, please, whoever you are, best friend, boyfriend, whoever you are, make me better. Like, if
What
there was
about the
something
other
that I could
ladies?
have done different, let me know.
Thea and Ashley, what do y'all think?
So I can say, if we're on a conversation and I feel like you're wrong, I'm not gonna come out in front of the person and say, babe, and agree with, hey,
no, Fee. If you're wrong about something, and he
If
tells
I'm
you,
wrong
and he's trying to explain it to you, babe, you're wrong, and here's why. Would you listen to him, and would you accept that, or would you be like, no, I'm right?
If he can explain to me why I'm wrong, I mean, I understand that. I mean, I don't have a problem with being wrong. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I even have that with my co-host of my podcast. Sometimes I'm thinking about something the wrong way, and Sharita is a psychologist, and she said, Fee, no, we not. This is why we're not doing that. And I'm like, okay. I'm look, guys, when you get to a certain point in your life, all that arguing and all that, it's just not worth it. My peace ain't worth that.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm a national debater, so I'm gonna argue with you if it's something to argue about.
Well, then, I mean, but that's good. That's good for you. But for me right now, and I used to be like that. Trust me. I used to be like that.
Look, I'm 40 plus. I ain't even got that kind of time.
My peace is more
I just don't.
I ain't got time for that. I'm leaving with a throat. I can't barely talk.
That's Jocelyn. Jocelyn, what are you, upper 20s, early 30s?
I used
I'll
to
be
be there,
30 in
Jocelyn.
October. You
See,
know.
that's what
Jocelyn,
it is.
listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toxic age, so
Listen.
it ain't no problem.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, come with it.
Brian,
Five-
Brian, I want to
I
hear
just
your, I want to hear
said
the
if it
younger
was
version
something
of
to
this.
argue about. If it ain't nothing to argue about, then I'm gonna be like, okay. I'll be
She
quiet.
gave me the mic and still
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
over.
yeah.
That let you
Arguing
know right
ain't
there.
something to argue about because I don't feel like it. I don't
Arguing?
be-
Can I say something about arguing?
Yeah,
5
Brian,
to
go
10
ahead,
years
Brian.
from now,
I
Jocelyn, you ain't gonna be doing all
I
that.
take it like
arguing.
this.
You're probably right,
Like,
Eddie. You right, because I'm getting tired now. Shit.
if we
But the
can't
answer to all
if
of
we
this
can't
is
communicate,
Snapchat when you young.
if we can't communicate, there ain't no point of even messing around.
There you
Like
go.
me personally, I just turned 30 in July. You know what I'm saying? I've had them days where I argued and all that. I'm not trying to have my blood pressure raised. I'm not trying to have my, stress up, none of that. If we can't talk it out, baby, we gonna walk it out and we gonna go our separate ways. That's how I feel.
Okay. I got another one.
No, I didn't get to answer, Jay. Like
Oh, I'm sorry.
You
Go
already
ahead.
answered mine.
I thought
No,
you were
I-
on food still.
no, I want you to tell me when I'm wrong. Because when I'm with my man, I want you to be open to feel that you can tell me, when I've said something that, hey, babe, you probably shouldn't have said that or whatever. Like that's the type of relationship that I want, to where we can be 100% open and honest with each other so that we can have that type of communication. So, I may not agree with you, but I still want to hear what your perspective is. And I think that's the definition of a healthy relationship and healthy love.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, question. Can y'all see these comments I post?
Yeah.
From the,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, we can see them.
Okay, bet that. So I got one for the men. So I had one for the women earlier. I got an IG for the men. So let me share this one, and then we'll talk about this one.
Yeah, Jocelyn like arguing. She a Scorpio. She like arguing.
She is Scorpio.
right.
She is.
So listen,
I
this
don't
is
like
for men.
My
arguing. I
best
like
friend is
debating.
Scorpio. We argue all the time. This is my best homeboy here, Scorpio, but I'll shut up.
Be honest with yourself, Jocelyn.
It's a woman that helps the man to be a man. A woman will test you to see if you are what you say you are. Any woman that you fall in love with, she love you too, but she gonna try you. That's her nature. She gotta know that she can depend on you. She gotta know that you'll stand up for her. She got to know that you'll back up the children that she brings in the world for us.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to Minister though.
Yeah, shout out to Farrakhan on
Shout
that
out to
one.
Minister.
So gentlemen, what do you feel about that? Do you feel that a woman would test you and try you in the right way to bring out the best in you?
So let me answer that first. When I was in my second marriage, we went out on a float trip, right? And it was me, our friends, my cousins, everything. My wife at that time got into a huge argument with my cousin, and she expected me to take her side. We all drunk, we all drunk as fuck. But she expected me to take her side. She was wrong. And I don't know if that was a part of her testing me or if that was a part of her just us being drunk. But at that time, you're like, come on, man, you sitting up here starting shit, and you want me to take up for you? You want me to take up for you when my cousin is sitting up here when you started it, and my cousin, like, he's a very boisterous person as well, and he was like, you know what, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Now, true enough, I'm not going to let him talk to her like that. However, she was the one that started it, and she got mad at me because she felt like I wasn't taking up for her enough. And I just felt like
that's
that was
how.
That's your ex-wife. That's your ex-wife,
Right. I don't think that's how the
Why
minister
she
meant
your
it.
ex?
I don't think the minister meant in that fashion.
Exactly.
Oh, well, shit.
I'm not
That's
gonna
what I
test
took from
you like that.
That was the last question we talked about arguing.
Go ahead, Steve. What's your answer on that? On what the minister said in regards of?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I think he made some. Let's unpack the whole situation. I think women will test you, and I mean, I'm 40 plus, so I definitely feel like if you're with the right one or you're dealing with someone, they definitely want to find out what type of man you are. If you're a leader, if you're going to back them up, if you can protect them. No woman wants to tell you that you're a king or feel like that they want to be your queen and you're not protecting them in the right way, right? So you're not protecting them if you're not doing what's necessary that they feel protected. You might not have a woman. There may be some problems moving forward with that particular person. Maybe y'all don't get to the committed stage. I also feel like a woman definitely would test you just in general to make sure that, you know, you are what you say you are. In communication, a lot of men will out-talk themselves out of some situations. They'll say one thing and then possibly do another. So women are very detailed, you know, animals, creatures, whatever you want to call it. Y'all women are making sure that what it is that are coming out of our mouths, we're actually doing. So if we say we make this kind of money, it kind of reflects either in what we drive or what we do. We say we take care of our kids. Are we actually spending time with our children and having communication with our kids, with our children and stuff like that and so forth? So I think what he had to say was spot on. And I remember that. I remember when Jay had posted that. So I think it's very true, and I agree with you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kenny.
You want to speak now?
I take it like this. I mean, some women test you because they get turned on by the masculinity. And some women test you because they want to see if you really that masculine man. And, you know, sometimes it's necessary for a man to be tested by a woman because sometimes you need that push. Sometimes you need that reminder like, hey, you know, you talking about that alpha male talk. You talk about you that head of the table, that head of household, or that big, strong man you claim to be about it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be about it. Because if you just all talk and then when she see, oh, he ain't really a man, that's going to turn her off. That's probably going to turn her away. You know what I'm saying? But I agree. Like, and I feel me personally as a man, I feel like I need that. Sometimes I'm going to need that push. I'm going to need her to, you know, not like insult me or, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I'm going to need her to say certain things that's going to trigger me to be like, wait, hold up. I do need to adjust. Let me man up and do this. Let me do this better. Let me be a better man by stepping up and, you know, getting this done or, you know, whatever the scenario is. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. That dude, he was right.
And I will hit on what you just said, Brian, because I don't think that it's wrong that women want men to step up and be a man or step up and protect them. But when they start shit, that's where we have a problem. That's where I have a problem with.
Dude,
you know,
why are you talking about starting shit still?
I'm just saying.
Why are you still stuck on arguing with your ex?
Because that's what I hear. That's what I heard out of that video.
You heard that from Farrakhan when he said to try. Wait a minute. You heard Farrakhan say a woman will try you to see if you're a man or not. You heard my ex is starting shit, so I gotta back her ass up. Really?
I don't think.
Yes, Jackie. I mean, Jason. That's exactly what the fuck I mean. Yes.
I don't think your wife was. I don't think your ex-wife was testing you in that moment. I think
your ex was just wrong.
Showing you she really was.
Right.
So is it my turn yet?
We call that playing a whole ass game, Frank. That's what we call that.
I've been moderating.
You for a pump.
But hold on. So no, your woman testing you is not picking fights and going out to make you jump in and protect her. No,
that's not the right kind of test.
No, that wasn't the right test.
No,
that was just like some wrong shit.
What I'm finding out is Frank like these women that like to fight.
These
women that like to get in the boxing ring.
He got a type.
And stuff.
He has a type.
Like you want black eyes.
They're very toxic. Trust me.
What's going on with you?
That's just what I've had in my life. I didn't say I like that shit. That's just what I've had in my life. I'm looking for peace right now.
Shit, I'm peace. But go ahead, if you haven't answered the question about what Farrakhan said.
I mean, in regards to, especially in my situation, where I'm active, you know, I'm in the streets, as they say, you know, because I'm single, no kids.
Eddie is definitely in them streets.
Very, very successful.
1000%. Sorry,
I'm active. I'm in the field, so that's why it always
in the trenches.
It's in the trenches. Talk to them, right? So it's always funny to me to hear what women want. And Farrakhan is right. They should challenge you, right? I feel like all women should challenge these men, right? So when you challenge a real man like me, and I check off all these boxes, then now we can move forward. But I think plenty of these women are not challenging these guys, right? And that is the problem. But what I'm telling you overall is they still having babies by these weaker men that they don't challenge. And then once they a baby in and 2 and 3 years in, and they realize like, oh, this is just not working. He's not what he said he was. Then they want to come look for me. That's my problem. So I agree 1,000% with the minister. Challenge these guys. Challenge these guys before they fuck down on you too. I agree 1,000%.
Y'all, do y'all be asking people if you check their boxes? Because I like to. I'm just that weird and confrontational. I'll be like,
you
hey,
should. You should.
am I doing it for you?
Check their boxes.
Like, I'll straight up ask you, like,
wait.
hey, am
They
I
don't
doing it
finish
for you or
answering
no?
questions,
Like, in this
Ah.
field, whatever field it may be, am I doing it
Challenge.
for you or no?
Challenge.
If not, what can I do to do it for you?
No,
If
not
I'm
even
not,
that,
then maybe
Joshua.
we're just not compatible. Because these are
these men.
conversations that people are afraid to have. Some people are not compatible. Period.
agree.
As much as you like to
Totally
like somebody,
agree.
you're not compatible. So if I'm not checking that box for you, there's somebody else who can check this box. And if I'm not checking this box for you, we don't got to be childish about it. We don't got to do all this extra, all this who and how. No, we don't got to do that. You can just tell me, I'm not checking the box. Maybe you're not checking some boxes for me too. And we should decide to move on. These are conversations
or
that
either
people are
check
afraid
the
to
boxes
have.
together or move on, like you said.
Exactly.
Frank,
And
you
some
need to just
boxes
let the
aren't.
women move on.
And here's another situation too that we haven't brought up. Some boxes are not going to be checked.
Come on now.
Fully or partially. They just not.
Very true.
They not gonna be checked. So you gotta be okay with them boxes not being checked, or you gotta find something different that works for you. You gotta be truthful in your situation.
What you said you gotta be okay or what?
Or move on. You got two options. I'm gonna be okay with these boxes not being checked, or I'm gonna move on and try to find somewhere else for these boxes to be checked. And that's a risk that you take. Because you see, you done got all these options over here where all these boxes done been checked, but it's these couple that ain't, right? So we gonna go over there and see if we can beat this couple, but just pay attention to all these that you had.
I call that
the
the 80-20. That's my 80-20 rule, right? As long as 80% of the boxes is checked, like you said, the 20%, you're gonna have to live with that, right? But at what point in a relationship do you realize who the person is, right? How long do you think that takes? You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. When you meet somebody, that's their representative to after a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months. And then you realize like, man, this more like a 40-60, bro. You ain't it, or girl, you ain't it, right? But then at that point, are you emotionally invested? At that point, or you pregnant? I mean, situations are extreme nowadays, right? So at one point, or how soon should it be established, this 80-20 rule, right? That's my question to the ladies. Like, how soon do we look for, hey, these are the quote unquote red flags that are deal breakers? Because I think so remember, I'm in the trenches, right? And listen to these guys. When I say I'm in the trenches, I'm literally standing in the trenches, right? So what I've been experiencing lately is by the time these women find out what they really want, what's really a deal breaker, the kid already 1 year old.
Preach on.
Fee, what's your opinion on this? Miss Turned Up Lips.
Y'all know I make facial expressions. You need to leave me alone. Everybody call me. I'm gonna start cutting my camera.
Hell no. We going in on those man. She was like, I ain't even noticed.
Be dropping that knowledge.
So, how about this? Why don't you like nice guys?
Yes. Yes. Please answer this motherfucking question. I'm all in.
Man, I got to hear this. Please.
Wow.
Keep
Hey,
it
you wanna
100.
be a nice guy? Why you want to know?
Keep it 100.
You ain't no nice guy, Frank.
What the hell I ain't? I'm a very.
Damn, you got called out quick.
Hey,
I'm a
the
very.
women hella quiet after that last question, though.
They
I'm
like-
trying
they-
to see
No,
what's going on.
I was trying to
don't.
be, you know,
They don't.
patient and let Fee answer that question.
wanna hear
I
all
don't
three of
think
y'all's
I don't
opinions,
think the answer, because I married a nice guy and a nice guy cheated on me, had a baby by another woman. So I don't think the answer is whether someone is nice or whether someone is bad. I think it's just looking at the person's heart and looking at their experience with love, how they've been taught to love. Because I was not the one that chased bad guys. I was never the one that looked for the bad guys. But unfortunately, the bad guys are honest. The good guys usually hide their deception behind the veil of being the nice guy.
Ashley, tell him one more time.
Okay, go ahead, I'm listening.
Tell him one more time, Ashley. Tell him one
Hey,
more
that's
time.
kind of, hey, you might want to unpack that a little bit. Yeah.
I'll unpack it. I'll unpack it a little bit because
Please do.
I was taught to recognize the bad guys, but what I was not taught to recognize is the wolves in sheep's clothing. The guys that came with the nice polo shirts and the khaki pants and the Cohorn shoes. That's the guys I went for. And those guys tend to play me much harder than the guys that were bad, because the bad guys told me exactly who they were up front. Hey, I'm a bad dude. I'm gonna cheat on you. I don't want to do this. They were very upfront about who they were. But it was the nice guys that did not openly reveal to me what their shortcomings were. And so a lot of times I got caught up in the nice guy image and didn't understand what came with it on the other side.
Eddie, don't shake your head. Don't shake your head yes to this bullshit.
And I mean, it's true. It's true. And so a lot of times I got played by the nice guys. And so I don't think
Eddie, stop shaking your head to this bullshit.
I don't think it's worrying about whether someone is nice or whether someone is bad. It's all about honesty. It's about if this person is going to be upfront with who they are to begin with. And part of that is asking the right questions, praying for a spirit of discernment, so that when you're on a date with someone, you know the right questions to ask, you know the right things to look for, you know how to make sure that their words align with their actions, you know, making sure that where do you come from? You know, how were you taught to love? Who are your mentors? Who do you look for to advise you on how to be a better person? And those were the things that I did not get. And so a lot of times what I tell I've had this conversation with Jason, you need to, for all the men out there that have daughters, tell your daughters how to peep game. You know, because it's a lot of guys out there that we can figure out, the ones that are very open and honest about what they want to, what they're going to do to us, but it's the ones that don't openly tell us. And so we have to learn from men. Hey, if a dude likes you, this is what he does. If he's serious about you, this is what he does. If he's going to be open and honest with you, this is what he does. So my daughter can know this is what you look for. And when a man wants you, he lets you know out the gate. It ain't no question. It ain't no confusion about it. He's gonna tell you straight up what it is.
Frank, the reason I'm shaking my head is because being that guy on both sides of the fence, being a nice guy and getting played, and being a monster and getting every woman everything that I want, she's exactly right. So my answer to what she said is everybody just be honest, right? See, with me being a nice guy, right, I get fucked over. I promise you. But when I'm rude, when I'm honest, and I'm upfront, man, listen, it ain't a woman I can't get. So I'm agreeing with her, fellas. Just be honest. Don't be no sucker. And please, for the life of all of the men on earth, don't do none of that extra tricking and raising the price on things if that ain't really who you are, because you fucking it up for me.
Can I say something since this was the women?
You fucking it up for me. Just be honest.
let me say something. So
Eddie, why don't you tell us about
Ain't
a
no tricking
situation?
in my
Because we
blood.
keep getting back to financial, Eddie, with
Wait,
you.
wait, wait,
When
wait,
Eddie,
it's
with
my,
you, we
listen,
keep
when it's my
getting back
turn,
to
when it's
financial.
my turn, I'll
What is
go.
this
I'll
about?
go.
And
Pastor
Eddie,
Eddie has spoken.
wait,
this is
Jocelyn.
why this is driving me back, because
Oh,
I'm a
God.
woman who has
Don't
never
do it.
lived off of any man's money. I don't need
You
it.
ain't
I
going with
got
this
it. So
money
like, I
thing.
don't understand why we keep going back to money with you, Eddie. What's it about with the financial
Can
stability?
we get
'Cause
back to
I
the
don't need a
question?
man with that.
Listen,
I want to talk
Jay,
about
can we
other
get back to the
shit.
question?
I want to talk about
Oh,
other
Lord
stuff.
Jesus.
I'm gonna
We
tell
get
you.
Eddie,
back to
I
the
agree with Eddie though. I agree with Eddie because the
Wait,
majority of
wait,
the time,
wait,
I'm gonna be
We're not
honest,
even
and
talking about
I'm gonna
money.
be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
What was the
I
question?
want everyone on this panel to be honest. You can never be happy with a broke nigga. Be honest.
I
We not
don't
talking
have to
about
be
that
with a
right
broke
now.
nigga. Here's the thing.
All right, I'm
When
about
we're
to
talking
go.
about people, we're talking about standards, right? We're talking
Right.
about how you love me, how you treat me, how you communicate with me, Eddie. And then here you go talking about whether this nigga broke or not. Well, the broke nigga was
'Cause you
already
not
eliminated before we got to this conversation, Eddie.
maybe,
That's what we getting at. Maybe
maybe,
because with me,
maybe.
you can't come to the table
But
half full
remember,
when I'm full. You get what I'm saying? So maybe
I
we on
agree.
two conversations.
No, I
And that's
agree.
why we like
But
back
I'm
to
saying
the broke nigga
overall. But
conversation. I
listen,
don't
when I'm saying
understand.
overall, right? Just be honest with me, right? You all are some very successful women, right? And I honestly believe that y'all want a guy that probably at least matches y'all financially, right or wrong.
I need you. Can I say something?
You
That
know
was a
what?
yes or
I'm
no
gonna
question.
give you
Because
that.
everybody
Let
starts
me
from
can I say
somewhere,
something,
Eddie. Fuck
Jocelyn?
financials. Let's talk about
Jocelyn,
something
can I
else.
say
When
something?
we're at financials,
I'm about to
match me with energy, baby. Match me with energy, because financials can start from the bottom and they can go somewhere completely different. But if you match me with that energy and that enthusiasm and that work ethic, we can go somewhere together. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to I don't need you to have $100,000 out the gate. We can put what you got and what I got together and we can fucking go somewhere. Excuse my language. We can go somewhere. You get
No,
what I'm
you say
saying? So
fucking go
like,
somewhere. Go ahead.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
I understand what you're saying, because at this age that I'm at right now, if you ain't got no money, I ain't trying to talk to you.
Time out. Because that is, I got it wrote down. That is not, that was not one of your
needs. I
needs.
that was one of my top two. I didn't say that was one of my top two.
But in reality, it is.
I have several needs. You're not gonna limit me to two needs for a man.
For the sake of the podcast.
You're not gonna lead me. You're not gonna give me two needs for a man.
But just for the sake
what
of
I'm
the podcast.
saying is, at this age in my life, I got a 17-year-old about to go off to college. I'm about to start traveling because I'm gonna be an empty nester. So if you want to hang with me, you're gonna have to have money to travel along with me. Now I ain't saying you gotta pay for me, but it would be nice if you're gonna have to have some money. But
thank you, Felicia. That's all I've been trying to get out of you.
I'm not gonna come to you and say how much money you making.
But no, we're not saying all that. But listen, Felicia, honestly, can you honestly be honest with all of us? A nigga with money is probably definitely in your top two needs. Just be honest.
Just
man.
don't expect to live off me.
I'm
you
not
can pull your own weight. I don't care. If you can pull your own weight, I swear to God, I'm not measuring you dollar by dollar. You need to match me. Like, I'm an ambitious woman. And so, like, to me, honestly, and this is me coming from my perspective only, and this may be different from Felicia and Ashley based off of my experience. Again, I'm single with no kids. But I don't expect for a man to financially provide everything for me. I just don't. That's just my belief system. I've been doing it so long, 100% by myself.
So can a man can a man come moving with you and don't pay no rent?
Absolutely not. You still gotta pull your own weight. Why the fuck I gotta pull my weight and you ain't gotta pull yours? I'm a woman and you a man. It's easier for you to pull your weight than it is for me to pull mine. Let's be honest.
And I agree with everyone 1,000%. But I want everyone to admit that finance is in everyone's top two needs. That's all I'm
Eddie,
saying.
it's the way that you're framing it, baby.
Yeah,
you're
they always tell me
finances. I'm framing it as pull your own weight. I'm not
Hey,
saying
but
for you to come
at
over
the
here and
end
do
of
all
the
of this
day,
and buy me Hellsberg
but at
diamonds
the
and
end of
this
the
and that.
day, it's
I'm
all
saying pull
money.
your weight, baby.
I
Pull your
think
weight. Don't expect me to pay for you. That's
All
what
right,
I'm
all right,
saying.
okay.
Candyman just made a very good statement in our chat, and he just said, if I'm not financially stable, I shouldn't even be dating. And I think that is the key. You know, I think and what?
That's how I feel, man.
No, I think
that's
that's
not
true. I think
Especially
that's
especially as a grown man, if I
Yes.
can't afford to take care of myself, if I can't afford to take care of these bills, that's so embarrassing if I take a girl out and I don't have no money to do nothing, or if I gotta call her
Hey,
or listen to a ride.
let's
You
flip
know
the
what
script
I'm
on the finances real quick. If a man money ain't right, his money funny, he really shouldn't be going out. But I guarantee he not finna date. I can get an amen from every dude on this podcast.
Damn man.
Yeah, that's
If
why
his money funny, he not even going out anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's why I said
we can't be serious.
Brad said he rich in real life, so that I can't.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not at
why I
Essence.
said
If,
Candyman's
look,
point-
real
that's why I
talk.
said
I was at
Candyman's
Essence a couple
point is
weeks
valid.
ago.
Yeah,
I'm not at Essence, and I'm spending money. We at day parties, all white party. We at concerts. I'm not at Essence if I ain't got my money right. A hotel got to be paid for. I don't care what your mission is when you go down there. You're gonna come off some bands for a domestic trip. Let's not even talk about international trips, and passport stamps, and going through customs. We
Well,
just
shit,
talking about
in the
domestic
same
trips.
city.
Huh?
In the same city.
Yeah. So, and Houston is expensive. I live in Houston, so I don't know about
Me too.
where
I live in
everybody
Houston,
Houston
too.
is expensive today.
But
You're a
what-
single
that-
man in
so
Houston,
listen.
and you're a gentleman, and you used to paying the tab. Fuck State 48. We can go to Cyclones and run a $200 bill if you really want to get drunk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
All right, Eddie, I'm
Man,
Hey,
you over there
My
preaching,
point-
preaching.
My point is,
finances is in my top 3.
my point is this: I want all the women to just be honest
Top
and
3.
say financial is
Top
important.
3. Top 3.
No,
It is important. But
now,
you
wait a minute
really,
now.
Eddie, if we're framing the question
It's
correctly,
necessary.
what you really wanted us to say is that it was our top 2. That's what you wanted us to say. You wanted us to say it's our top 2. But it's a problem for you that it's not our top whatever.
Because that's a lie.
And,
That's a lie.
oh well, it's a lot to you, and it can be that. That's your truth, baby. My truth is my truth.
Because yours is time. All the nigga got to do for you is spend time.
Yeah, because I got my own money.
But he can't move in with you and spend all the time in the world if he ain't got
He
no
can
money.
spend his time and his money. You feel me?
Exactly. This
That
be
wine
honest.
talking now. That wine
Be
talking.
honest. Now, don't a nigga that's broke.
We get tired of going
Well,
out.
I
and
think.
we pay for
Well,
more
I
than
think
we
we have
have
to look at it. We have to look at it this way. I mean, if I get with somebody and maybe you have to look at but no, you have to look at the way society is built too, in terms of the opportunities that men have versus the opportunities that women have. What industry is he in? Like if I look at if I date a guy and he's a coach. And he's a coach at a high school, but he's passionate about coaching and he's pouring into the lives of Black men. He may not match my salary because I got a corporate job and I'm a director of my department. But if I see him and see how passionate he is about what he does and how he's living his life and pouring into what he does and what he's doing, then that's all that matters to me.
Can he come live with you rent free?
But this is the thing, Eddie.
Yes
Oh,
or no?
but no,
Why
this is
would
the
he
thing,
need
Eddie.
to
Wait,
come live
let me
with us
answer.
rent free? He's making the money, Eddie. He ain't that broke.
Let me answer the question. Most real men are not going to ask to move into a woman's house.
I don't want to move in with you anyway because if my name ain't on the deed and the title, that's the whole issue.
They're most real
I'm sorry, the title.
most real men are gonna want most real men are gonna want their own thing.
We gonna
move and as a woman,
I'm not moving to your spot. You're not moving to mine. We're gonna find something else.
Exactly. There you go, Steve. We're gonna get our own together. And this is my thing.
Because you're not gonna tell me get the fuck out your house.
It's all about where your mind.
That's why I got my own shit. You can move in here with me, but I ain't moving in there with you. And I agree with you. You what you're saying is if it's a guy out there, he's being so active in the community, he's changing these kids' life, he's really making a difference. But at the end of the day, we know coaches and teachers don't make no money. And no matter how much of a good person that guy is, that nigga can't come live with you if he ain't contributing.
All right. Okay.
I got everybody muted.
We have to go to another question.
I got everybody muted because I'm dead on finances. Y'all wearing me out on finances right now. So
date your ways, damn it.
Well, what we never did get to.
Go about
Felicia had a page full of questions for the men. I got my questions I've been running through, and we've been stuck on some shit. But I want to get to some of your questions for the men. At least one or two of them, please. Can you do that for me, please?
All right. So I got a question.
Okay.
So, like Ashley was saying, if you got a woman that is a director, or like myself, I was a business analyst at one of our companies that make private jets. I made a lot of money. And 6 figures, and was proud of it. And I did my thing. And I walked and I held my head up. I was proud of myself. I took care of my daughter. You know, I did everything that I needed to do to uphold my household, because I hadn't met a man that her father wasn't doing it. And I hadn't met a man that was willing to be that person for me. But some of my friends told me one day that I'm intimidating to men. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you that question. If you meet a 6-figure woman doing her thing, she got it. She got a house. She got a nice car. She doing her thing. Does that woman intimidate you? And if she doesn't, how do you approach her?
I'm going to approach her like I approach anybody else. I've always dated powerful women. I really don't know how to date someone that makes like 30, 40,000, because that's never been something that I've actually done. Somebody that, let me say not date, because dating is a wide range. I've never been in a serious committed relationship with someone that wasn't making like either 6 figures or great money. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe $75,000 or more, or whatever the case is. So for me, because of the way that my mom was in the Army for 28 years, and she's a nurse, and she's like the nurse practitioner, you know, past that. She's at the highest you can be as a nurse without being a doctor. I've always wanted to be with someone that was powerful, that made money, independent, self-sufficient, financially stable. So what I seen in my mama, I always wanted in the type of woman that I wanted. So it doesn't intimidate me personally. I can't speak for everybody on the panel, but for me personally, it doesn't intimidate me, because I know if I put what I make, and I own my own food company, I've been in the business 6.5 years. So I'm not, you know, bragging, but I put my little 6 figures together. She put her 6. We powerful as shit together. You feel me? I'm not looking at, oh, I make this, she makes below, or she makes higher. I'm not intimidated by that, because if he a real king and he confident in how he move and how he step, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are putting that together to even build a bigger empire versus, oh, she make 150,000 or she make 200,000. I just make 120. I don't know if I could be with her. Why not? She gonna get her nails done. She gonna have a nice car. She gonna have a big ass house. She gonna have the Gucci or the Louis bag anyway. You might as well just fall in line with it, because that's what it is. That's the lifestyle she's already created. You're just the dude that's gonna be with her.
But so, wait, I'm gonna be honest with you. A woman, cause see, you live in Houston, I live in Houston. I don't know who else lives in Houston, but a woman of that stature, you don't make enough for. You don't make enough.
Wait a minute. I'm not gonna have this conversation.
Wait. This is a guy.
Mute him.
Come on, Jason, mute his mic. That's cap. That's straight up cap.
That's cap, dog.
That is not true.
That's cap.
That is not true, Eddie.
That is cap.
Remember, I don't know what y'all do, but I'm in the trenches. I'm telling you.
But I'm in the trenches to tell you. You want a phone call with some of black women, and we're telling you that's wrong. That's wrong. I make $150,000 a year, bro, and everything that Steve says, I'm with it. Like, you just come with me, and if you make less than me, I'm gonna find a way to get you where I am. I'm gonna be like, babe, what are you an expert at? Because I feel like there's a genius idea in every man. And all you got to do is give him the tools to get there. So let's work together and be that power couple. You know, so I'm telling you right now, that's cap.
But listen, it's not cap. The thing is, you older, right? Steve looking for something not as old. That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, when you had that same mentality, these younger dudes couldn't get with you. And I'm gonna be honest. Are you single right now?
Yes, I'm single.
Exactly.
But
That's
that,
what
but
I'm
no,
trying to
but
tell
not, but hold up, before you stop there.
you. I'm
I'm
stopping.
not,
Go ahead.
I'm not single because I don't have choices. Let's be very clear on that. I have plenty of choices.
Talk
I
to
don't
me,
have
baby.
to be
Talk to me. You
single.
got
I,
options now.
I am single because I have made the choice to be, because I am waiting patiently
Oh,
for a man that can match what I bring to the table.
ain't no man about to match what you bring to the table.
Say what?
No man that matches your salary is going to be interested in you.
Oh
Because
my
y'all
God,
both
that's cap.
bosses.
That's
What are
cap.
we talking about?
That's straight cap. That's straight cap. That's I'm not
I need some men to chime in, dog.
Can I answer? Can I answer?
Yeah.
But that's a lie. That's not true. That's
Let
not
Brian
true
answer.
at
Go
all.
ahead, Brian.
Okay, here's my thing about that. Now, see, when I was younger, I'll admit, a woman who made more money than me, I was interrogated. But that was because I didn't have my money up. And once I became a grown man and I realized that really don't matter, the only type of men that are going to be insecure about that are men who don't have money. If you don't got no money, you going to be interrogated by a woman who's successful. Or if you just a straight bum, of course you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm insecure. She got this, she got that, and I don't got this. Bro, you need to get yourself a job or get yourself a hobby, get yourself a career, step your game up as a man, quit complaining, and get it together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's all about the law of attraction.
I agree.
It's all about what you're bringing,
Candy
what
man,
you're attracting
what I'm
into that
guaranteeing
whole
you
situation.
is
Because if
they gonna
you
get
want a
pregnant
woman, if you want to be with
by
somebody
that
who
broker
has
guy.
somebody that
Gotta
is
get to
an
the high
upper
value
level,
guy.
bring them to. You need to be up in that upper level too.
I heard both of y'all, and I do agree with both of y'all because I'm good. I got good ears, but like, yeah, like I mean, yeah, like
Candy man, how old are you?
I just turned 30.
My guy, Steve, how old are you? He 40 plus. I'm
I'm
40
42. I'm sorry, I had to unmute. I'm 42.
Jay 42, Frank 42. We're not gonna ask the women how old they are, but I'm just gonna be honest with everybody.
Don't say nothing about no finances.
I ain't.
It's too late.
Eddie been hurt by some broke chicks. I don't.
Yes.
Eddie, you keep talking about this pregnancy theorem.
You're right.
Everything ends up in pregnancy. If she does this, she pregnant. She do this,
Eddie,
she pregnant. I'm like, what's going on, Eddie?
I have been
What?
I don't know what Kansas City was like for you, Eddie, but Houston is a different ball game, big dog.
Women.
Okay, Eddie. So you need to change the way you operate, bruh. Like
Eddie, you need to
realize-
maybe the women that we are setting our sights on, maybe they're the wrong.
Yeah, and you gotta realize you attract what your energy brings out. So you need to reassess.
No, and no BS. I had one of these conversations with myself sometimes. I think it's important that we have these conversations with ourselves about sometimes we are seeking the completely wrong individuals. Let's be honest. Like I can be honest with myself and I can say I have dated people that I had no business dating, period. Like
But
that's
listen,
just the honest to God
how
truth.
do I attract women that are about something? That's my question to y'all.
Be about
yourself, Eddie. Change your way of thought. Change your way of thought. Change the way you practice your thoughts.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Jay?
Stay off them date naps, cuz. Them date naps get you in trouble, cuz.
Because Eddie, listen, like even the way that we talk, like while we're in here, right? You have to talk like I've been told that you speak what you want to exist, right? So like in this podcast, we've been talking about broke women who need men for their finances, and we've been talking about women getting pregnant. We're not gonna talk that shit no more. Fuck that shit, right? We're gonna find some new noise to blast loud as I don't know what. Like we need to, and this is not even about speaking. This is just becoming aware of yourself, right? Like this is something that I've been focusing on. I have been making mistakes. we hate to admit when we make mistakes in our relationships. We hate to admit to say, I dated this person and that was wrong. The situation around it was wrong. The everything that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we do not like to take accountability. And sometimes we have to take accountability and say, this relationship failed because this person was shitty as hell, but also because I should have never been in this shitty ass relationship. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? So that's just how I feel about it. There are some situations that I have been in where I'd be like, Jocelyn, if you were awoke and you were paying attention to what was going on right here and not just the dick that you were getting in this situation, you might have chose to not be in that situation. You know, like, let's be honest with ourselves. I think there needs to be a time where people are not just trying to blame things on this money grabbing person or this whatever or this whatever. We are a part of the problem too. Like, we are.
I got a
Yeah,
question.
women are
I
the
got a
problem. Is that
question.
what you just said,
I
Jocelyn?
said we.
I
I
got a
said
question.
all of
I
us on this
said,
podcast, Frank.
I got a question. And let's see if it goes back to
Well
finance.
put, Jocelyn.
Hopefully not. But listen, in this day and age of dating, let me ask you about social media. I want to know, has social media ruined dating?
No.
No?
The people on social media ruin dating. Social media gave you opportunity to date a variety of more people, but people blame social media on everything when they need to blame themselves on the actions that they take on social media.
Well,
Look, I love social media too, but finding somebody on social media can be real dangerous. You're falling in love with what they put online. You're dating what they have on their social media, but you're not dating to get to know them. If you're
But
looking at their pictures and their
disagree with you on
videos
that.
and their trips and their out of town things and their lifestyle, that's not them on a daily basis.
But I think well, let me ask you, Brian. Are you saying just like on a social media dating apps, or are you saying just like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, shit like that?
It's just like people put on like how he said, like people date, like how Steven said, he said people, you're basically dating who they put as the that I'm sorry. He said they're basically, you're dating the person who they perceive they are on social media. That's what ruins relationship. You act like you're this and this and that in social media. You want to treat people a certain way all because you got all these likes and comments, but you don't want to actually be your real self. A lot of people are hiding behind these filters, hiding behind these likes and these comments and all this attention so much that it's blocking their actual common sense and it's actually blocking their actual personality, who they are. Then they want to blame, oh, social media ruin relationships. No, you came on social media fronting and you ruined your whole relationship yourself. Blame yourself. Take accountability for your actions and be yourself instead of trying to be somebody you're not.
Let me drop a quick nugget. Let me drop a real quick nugget. I'm sorry to jump in. My boy, my Scorpio homeboy, right? He says his rule is when he meets a woman, meets a chick, wherever he meets at in a bar, restaurant, club, wherever, he doesn't get their social media for 3 months. He wants to get to know them, try to figure them out, go on dates with them, take them out, go on outings, whatever they do, whether it's 1 date or 10 dates. In that 3 months, he wants to get to know them. And he's not hiding from social media. He'll tag somebody or put them in a story or whatever, but he doesn't want to jump on their social media. And likewise, he's not a big social media guy, but he's got some postings, mostly international trips and little things here and there, happy birthdays and stuff to his kid. But I kind of like that rule because if I meet you January 1st and on January 1st I start following you, I'm in a rabbit hole looking all down your whole social media page that whole day. And then come January 10th, I'm trying to compare what I'm getting to know to your social media page. And it's never going to be quite the same. They're not going to necessarily add up, or you could be looking at one thing and expecting another or vice versa. So I kind of like the rule. I don't know if 90 days works. It could be 30 days, but just not looking at their social media or having to make sure that the pressure of following them and liking their stuff and feeling them on social media is a big ordeal versus just really getting to know them. Organic communication, talking to them, texting, meeting up, and stuff like that.
Ladies, do y'all agree or disagree with what
definitely
Brian and Steven said?
I disagree. And this is coming from my personal perspective. I'm a model, okay? I post things on social media. I post witty captions that don't mean a damn thing to me. I post all kind of things, right, on social media. So if you frame your concept of me, Jocelyn Merritt, based off of what you've seen on social media, you don't know a damn thing about me. Period. I think that we have the a bad habit of framing what we know about people based off of what we see on social media. I feel that I would rather, as you mentioned, Steve, about someone knowing a person in real life and then not getting their socials until after the fact. I would prefer that because that does not allow you to know the real person. As a woman who models, I will be completely transparent and say, I'm not posting no picture where I look fried or ugly or whatever. If I don't like this little fat roll that's hanging
Of
out in this
course,
position,
of course,
we
of
not
course.
we not posting that. So you only gonna get to know what I like. So what are you really getting to know if I only show you what I like?
So
You
I
get what
like
I'm
his
saying?
rule, but I'm 50-50 with it, right? So on one end of the stick, I get it. You get to really get to know the organic person. You get to know them, and you get to talk to them, date them, whatever. But then on the other end, you can really see what that person is about as well, depending on what you're looking for. So if I'm an older guy, I'm dating a younger chick. Let's say I'm dating you, Josh, and you just turned 30. I'm 42. If I'm looking at your page and all you doing is twerking and shaking your ass, I know off top I ain't fucking with it. I know for a fact that's not the lane I want to be in with somebody I want to jump down with. If
But what
I
if I
plan
only
on getting
post it
serious,
when I'm turning up? You get what I'm saying? Because let me be
no, we're
honest,
not
I
talking about your
post what.
stories. I'm talking about what you done posted. Stories too, but what you
Okay.
done posted. So if all I see is this little ass, can you turn around it? Yeah, I'm done. I can't do it. It's not. It's a wrap. Because if that's all you posting, that's all you thinking yourself. That's an ain't shit pose to me. That's what I call it. If that's all you got to offer and there's nothing wrong with having a nice body. Let me not take nothing away from all the women on the panel. But if that's all you're posting, I'm gonna be like, I don't know about
Listen,
this one. So I'm gonna be a little hesitant.
I rock with social media.
I rock with it too, heavy.
I literally believe
I sell my food on it.
Whatever they posted is more than likely what they have to offer.
Touche.
I agree with that.
Okay, I want to ask a question. So this is my baby.
Are you sure with her standing there? Are you sure?
Yeah, she didn't even stand it. She said she's
grown.
21.
What's up, Farron?
She 21?
No.
No, hell no. Hell no. This is my baby. She'll be 15. She'll be 15 in a month and a half?
Hey, Reno.
Huh?
Before you go there, so listen, we've hit like 2 hours.
Right.
We've been having a good time, so time has flown. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Go ahead and
this was my wrap up.
Huh?
This is my wrap up. This actually was wrap up because I saw that too.
Yeah, go ahead, close it out.
This is I'm gonna knock the hell out of you. Okay, so this is my baby.
Child abuse.
She'll be 15, she'll be 15, a month and a half, a little under a month and a half. What would you all say to someone who's 15, who's very, very into social media, and I can't talk because that's my baby.
You're gonna embarrass her.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass her, but someone who's living in the social media realm right now.
Okay.
What would you ladies and you men, what would y'all say to either your former self who's living in this realm, in this time range, in this dimension, or what would y'all give her as advice for the future?
It ain't real.
And we'll start one at a time.
It ain't real.
We'll go ahead. Jay, what'd you say?
Okay, so we're talking about the future. So first off, because I've got a little sister.
And
okay?
her name is Farron. You can talk to her, Farron.
Hi, Farron. Farron knows me. Okay, me and Farron have talked before.
Yeah.
Hey, baby. Hey. So first off, you are beautiful. Let's start off there because you are. Period. But I have a little sister, so like I have these conversations often, and I remember how I feel when I was growing up. As a teenager with social media and. One of the things regardless of whether you see on social media, and I know it's not easy and I know it's something that requires work, but baby, love yourself. Love yourself, because there are people who are going to uplift you, and unfortunately there are people who are going to tear you down too. And you've just got to have the willpower to bring yourself above the people who are tearing you down. Love yourself, each and every part of it. I don't give a damn if you think it's a flaw or not. Somebody gonna love that flaw. I know somebody love mine's, and I probably love yours too. You know what I'm saying? Like, just love yourself. It's so important, because there are so many people who aren't going to love with you, and that's okay, because maybe they don't know what they're supposed to love, but you do. So
I think let me give you some super duper advice, especially for someone who is your age, who is social media is all you know. The only thing in 2022 and going forward that's going to separate you from everybody else is you're going to have to unplug. You have to unplug from social media. And that's just the bottom line. You're going to have to unplug from social media sometimes to realize and see who you are. And in this day and age, when everybody is so embedded in the metaverse, the only way to really find out who you are, you have to unplug. Me, myself, I unplug. It's going to make you more productive. It's going to make you just all around getting more in tune with yourself. Because if anybody, and this is for everybody, if anybody is on social media all day, every day, 24/7, watching highlights, it's going to probably make you depressed. And I'm saying that to say, it don't make me depressed because I unplug, but two, I mean, it's not real. You know, and that's all I can say. It might fuel you. Like somebody like me, it's going to fuel me to be great, which has worked for me thus far. But everybody who don't understand and who don't have the opportunity as me, you got to unplug from that social media, man, or it's going to drive you crazy for sure.
All right. Who's next?
I'll hop in real quick. And literally, Jocelyn made the point I was going to make. I'll give a quick nugget and I'll hop off. First of all, you didn't get your looks from your daddy, so that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's all our mama right there, Blair.
She don't look like her daddy. No, for real. Seriously though, I have a 12-year-old myself, and I have a 21-year-old, right? So I got a grown son, and then I have a preteen. And I tell her all the time, first, I always uplift her. I'm sure Frank does. I know Frank's a great dad. You know, I always try to uplift her and let her know, first of all, you're a queen. You do not need social media to validate you. Don't ever feel like if you don't have 100+ likes, or if you post a prom dress or something and you don't get as many likes as maybe your friends or other peers, that you're not as good or better than them. Don't ever let social media put you in a realm that you feel like you're beneath something or someone. Like, and I agree with all the points that have already been made. Unplug, know that you're beautiful, know your self-worth. That is such a big thing in society. As Black men and Black women, they tear us down every day some kind of way, and you have to know your self-worth. So don't let social media validate you or tell you who you are when you're already a queen. You got a great father. I have nothing against your mom. I don't know her, but I know your dad via social media, and he's good people. So do it through his tutelage and social media. I think you'll be all right, but just don't let it validate you. Don't let it make you who you think you are. You're still going to be this awesome woman. And so let that, you know, as a country women say, let that sizzle in your spirit a little bit.
All right. Who's next?
I'll say real quick. I mean, y'all basically took everything I was gonna say, and you know, y'all said it, so that's cool. That give me a little less time. But yeah, just don't keep. I say this: watch who you hang with, who act funny towards you on social media, but want to act a different type of way in person. Because I got some friends, family members. When I get on social media, they'll act funny towards me. They'll act some type of way. But then when we see each other in person, just because they're not around their social media crowd that gives them all that attention, they want to show love. They want to talk back and whatnot. So you just got to be careful. Like, all their points is valid too, but you got to be careful. Watch who you got on social media. And it's okay to delete people and block people. Deleting and block people is here for a reason, and it's to make your life a lot easier. Because a lot of people they complain about people, but they don't delete and block them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you got an issue or so you don't like something, delete and block. And if they keep harassing you, report them. Report them as harassment, and that's gonna keep them away from you. But everything they said, and yeah, that's all.
Word. Felicia?
Hey, she is very beautiful. I have a 17-year-old. She just turned 17 a couple of days ago. And I tell her all the time, a lot of times on social media, you're going to meet a person's representative, as we've all said. And that representative is not always it's not always what that person is about. You'll meet them in person and you'll be like, sometimes you'll be like, you don't even look like the person on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Understand that people get on social media and they become the person that they want to be. And a lot of those people, self-esteem is way low. So the one thing that I tell my daughter is, you are beautiful. I try to build up her self-esteem so that when people do say little stuff to you, you already know you don't got to respond. You can just ignore it, because there's always going to be people who want to tear you down, and there's going to be people who want to build you up. So make sure you are around enough people that want to build you up. And on social media, you can shut it off. Like they said, shut it off, delete them, block them, whatever you need to do. Because really, for me, I use social media as advertisement for my podcast, talk to my family, send little jokes, and send little pictures to because I'm from Virginia. My friends are in Virginia. So we send pictures. You know, I don't believe half that stuff people got on it. People will lie and have you believing that they this, that, and other. And you know somebody that know them like he ain't got two rocks to rub together. You know? Just don't believe everything you see. Make sure that you understand what your self-worth is. And I already know your dad is helping to instill that in you. And believe half of what you see. Not even half.
Thank you, man. Ashley, and I'll close this out.
You are absolutely gorgeous, and I want to say that too. You are beautiful. What I tell my daughter, who gets on social media as well, is that validation is for parking. The only thing that you need to validate is yourself. The thing that is most important to you is what you feel about who you are. It's not about what people call you, is what you answer to. So when my kids get upset about somebody calling them something, I said, is that what you call yourself? Is that what you think about yourself? Then you don't have to even respond to that. You ignore that. When you're on social media, before you make a post, and this is what I do for myself, the one thing I do, I ask myself is, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? I know that I am here because God put me here to send my message. And so when I put a post out, what I say to myself is, what is my purpose? My purpose is to help people. My purpose is to express love. My purpose is to make this world a better place. So what anybody else thinks about that doesn't matter. As long as I stand within my purpose and what I know, what my divine path is, I don't have to worry about what anybody else says. And a lot of people the people that put negativity and comments or whatever, that's because they're operating in a lower place. And what I say to them is, God be with you. Thank you for your comment. And I pray that you have a better day. And it's amazing how people will respond when you respond to them in kind, how they will shrink away. I have responded to trolls in a kind way and they disappeared. When they put something negative under my post, I say, thank you for your response. I pray for you and I wish you well. And it's amazing how they just shrink away. So just know what your purpose is, baby girl, in this world, and know that you were created by God, and God does not create junk. You are perfect in every way.
That's a word for you. And let me add my little 2 cents
right here. This is your God daddy right
let
here.
Let me add my little 2 cents in here. So, your daddy's crazy. You know that. Your boy, if I'm his boy, I'm a little crazy too. So if anything happens, we got 100 dudes, 100 guns. So that's the first thing. We coming. If anything happens. But no, on the real, I got a little girl too. And You know, our girls are everything to us. So we can't protect you from everything, though we want to, but we can try to educate you and provide guidance as best we can. Social media can be a great thing. It also be an ugly thing. You know, you have to have a filter in your own head to know what's real and what's not. A lot of it's not real. A lot of people go on there for adulation, for fake fame, for, you know, their own self-esteem issues, you know. So remember that. Be careful about who you choose to be friends with in real life and on social media. Choose wisely. Keep your friends very close. I say keep your friends in a small pack myself. But you can have a large social media following, but just know who the real ones are and who the real ones aren't. And, you know, you do that and do everything that everyone on this panel has told you, you will be just fine. And like I said, if anything or anybody got a problem with it, no.
We on the way.
And I'll say this. I'll finish out with this. I was a 19-year-old father, 19 years old when I first had my oldest son, and from that point on, I've always been about my kids, from Frank Jr. to Malcolm Isaac to Fannie Lease. It's always been whatever legacy I'm building. I'm trying to build a legacy for them. And relationship wise, I've had a great time tonight messing with y'all and hanging out with y'all. But to be honest with y'all, them, it's who I do it for. All day, every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And so when I cuss her out and when I holler at her, she may get mad at me on the softball or the soccer court, on the soccer field or the softball field. I'm doing it because I know the greatness inside of them. I know that there's greatness inside of each and every one of you guys. We thank each and every one of y'all for joining us. We're going to do this. We're going to do this again. We love y'all. I love and respect and honor and invite y'all to the next one. And this is, to me, this is about Kings Can Move On. This is what me and Jay started this. Me and Jay started this because we have kids that we love. We want to be all a part of. We want to be a part of them, and we want to see a better place. We want to see a better place for them. We want to see a better place for us. And yeah, I joke around. I have my thoughts, and some of them true, some of them just start shit. But you know what? It's all a part of growing, understanding, and loving each other. Black, white, Latina, Asian, Mediterranean, Indian, whatever we want to call them. I think that we just all need to come together, because when we come together as adults, then this one behind me can have a better life. That's all I want in life for that one and my other.
So with that said, well said, my brother. You know I love you to death. You my dude, my brother. I want to thank all of y'all for coming on and taking the time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this first live stream of Kings Can Move On. We hope it's a first of many of different topics of subjects. But I want to thank you personally all for coming out. It means a lot to us. And I didn't say it earlier, I should have said it earlier. But if you're listening to this, you're watching this, go find us on YouTube. Subscribe and like.
Yeah.
Apple, Spotify, Google. Subscribe and like. Follow us. We got more stuff coming. I think you will enjoy it. And with that, everybody on the thing, Big Frank,
Lil J.
Kings Move On, y'all. We out. If you enjoyed that episode, don't forget to subscribe and like us on our YouTube channel and rate and follow us on your favorite podcast platform.